So it's a chilly Tuesday morning in Delhi. We haven't seen the sun for we saw the sun briefly yesterday since we haven't seen the sun for a fortnight. And the chilly relations also between India and Maldives also, emerging. The beautiful beaches have become like a war ground now. And
And the reason why Aman is obsessed with beaches, you just come back from one.
but we are not going to Maldives.
We are going to
We are
Maldives.
boycotting Maldives as per the Indian what the
On the social media.
on the
it's been
social media
boycotted.
everybody is boycotting. People are scared to put up their Maldives photos
Maldives
also now.
photo.
But on a serious note, Pallavi, we'll speak about Maldives. What has happened? We'll also speak about the sheet sharing talks which is happening in the India Alliance. Pallavi has all the scoops here. We'll speak that in the second half. We'll come to that. But first, coming to Maldives, Pallavi, it was a simple visit of the Prime Minister to Lakshadweep. Prime Minister has earlier also been to places like Sikkim, Andaman,
And always pitched
Kashmir.
for it,
He has
yeah.
tweeted pictures from them. So this should be just another visit to Lakshadweep where he's posted pictures. He tried snorkeling.
And
Yeah,
he
that
did
is
not
new.
even mention Maldives.
He never
did not
mentioned Maldives.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was more like promoting an Indian destination, which
Yeah.
every Indian Prime Minister maybe would have been doing in the past, and PM Modi is maybe doing it more aggressively. But how did it reach Maldives? That is a
I
million
don't know.
dollar question.
I think it started all on the social media war. Someone mentioned Maldives, and then they started comparing it to Lakshadweep, and then it all hell broke loose when Maldivian ministers started taking pot shots at Prime
So they
Minister.
took a bait from our social media
Yeah,
warriors.
they took a bait from our social media warriors, and then now it's become a kind of a diplomatic thing.
Yeah, and strangely enough, so I was speaking to some people in the government, Pallavi, that Maldives is one nation with which India has always gone the extra mile, be giving them the COVID vaccines the
Yeah.
first. In fact, India is
The
building
COVID
their
Maitri was, I think, one of the first countries we
first,
started.
it was the first
Mal-
country which
yeah.
got the vaccines from India. It got 3 lakh vaccines in the first 3 months. India is building an airport for Maldives in the northern part of the island. India is building the biggest island connectivity project in Maldives. All this is obviously to promote Maldives tourism as well. So, to paint India as somebody who wants to snatch away tourism from Maldives doesn't make any sense.
And to be fair, I think Maldivian government also sprung into action very quickly. I mean, they immediately condemned it. They also know the pitfalls of,
Yeah.
taking on India and trashing us. I mean, you can't call us smelly and delusional. And, it's not either or. I mean, people can go to both Maldives as well as to Lakshadweep. And I think it's fair that every one country pitches forward their tourism. I mean, why not? I mean, if the Prime Minister or any politician for that matter.
Yeah.
And this has become a trend. I mean, I know Mamata Banerjee is doing it in West Bengal, Ganga Sagar, in UP it's being done. In other states it's being done. I mean, Himachal Pradesh CM did it recently. He talked about various places in Himachal Pradesh where people should go. And because it's a huge economic earner. Not just tourism, but, the ancillary industries as well.
And I think 12% of all tourist traffic on Maldives is Indian. So, this is really, I think the Maldives government, Pallavi, also sprung into action very quickly because it realized the damage it could cause, to their tourism industry, which is the main, hallmark, main benchmark of how the Maldivian economy runs. And now the Maldivian president is in China as we speak. So, obviously, India is smelling, some sabotage here, some conspiracy here that, just before the Chinese visit of the Maldivian president,
This is what
these
has
kind of
happened.
comments have an unprovoked attack on India in a way. India, as you correctly said, Prime Minister never mentioned in his tweets or his social media handles that, this is, don't go to Maldives, come to Lakshadweep. In fact, we are we're taking steps, as I said, to promote Maldives tourism.
I think it's
through
also got
various
a lot
lines
of
of
traction
credit.
with the film stars jumping in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the
And that's
celebrities.
where the politics also began, because most of these film stars who jumped in are also the ones who've been to Maldives. I mean, Akshay Kumar,
who often go to Maldives.
who often goes to Maldives. There's nothing wrong in that. I
Few
mean,
of them
okay.
spend the New Year's in Maldives, but
Yeah.
now they're saying they're not going
Now,
to go to Maldives.
there was a very famous thing I saw on Twitter where I think someone tweeted to say that there must be some celebs there and they must be all dressed up and decked up, lost weight because they want to tweet pictures of Maldives.
Now they can't.
Now they can't and they won't. It's become the wrong place to go to suddenly.
So interesting, but I think India has also showed lot of diplomatic strength here. The way Maldives had to suspend 3 people, and I think the latest demand from India is why suspend minister, dismiss them. If you think their comments were really offensive towards India, what happens to the larger India-Maldives partnership which has been happening, and things I think changed since the new Maldives government came into place in September.
That was considered to be a little bit anti-India. Or
It's
little
a lot
bit more,
anti-Indian.
or tilting more towards China.
Yeah, and their whole campaign of the new government while it was campaigning in the election was against India. That India is interfering too much into our matters. So I think that has been the whole background of it, and the Maldives controversy. I think it has generated a lot of interest in people now to go to Lakshadweep. So God forbid,
Yeah.
Pallavi, everybody lands up in Lakshadweep, and
I mean, see, the thing is, the government certainly will have to make a lot of arrangement. There are big plans which are
yeah,
being made. I mean, airports going to be spruced up and more hotels, making it easier for hotels to get licenses. And it'll be nice. It's not easy traveling to Lakshadweep. I
yeah,
mean, I
you need
tried it once. It's very difficult because
you
you need
need to
those
seek a
permission.
permit and everything
Yeah, you need
online.
a permit, and then not very like Andaman and Nicobar has really developed. You have some very good hotels there, and 5-star hotels coming up. Big hoteliers also jumping. So Lakshadweep will have to change. But why not? I mean, people of Lakshadweep also are entitled to earn money from tourism, just like any other state is.
Absolutely, and if it's such a beautiful place, why stop?
Yeah.
People who want to go there from going there. And I think the government will ease out some steps, hopefully, because right now it's a bit of a cumbersome procedure to apply
Yeah.
for permit. Then you can only fly from Kochi, or take a cruise, which is almost 16-17 hours. So it's quite a task to go to Lakshadweep right now. I'm sure the government is working on some steps now, especially after Prime Minister visit, to ease the journey. I think moving on. So from the Maldives controversy to what is happening and the India front, these hectic talks which are happening daily. Pallavi, yesterday
Yeah, I mean,
with
I find it very strange that the Congress party and many of the India front parties are getting more and more involved in Maldives, Lakshadweep, Prime Minister making fun of his snorkeling and all those that. But the fact is that they have a big problem in hand, and that is seat sharing. And when I speak to Congress leaders, they said, ye sab cheez dikhawa hai, everything will be sorted out. But from the voters' point of view, they must be thinking, yeah, what is this happening? Ye kya ho raha hai?
January aa gaya, January, almost
Yeah,
half
and
of
okay,
January is over.
I mean, how will the workers, the party workers, do the campaign, a joint campaign? I mean, I can't imagine in Murshidabad, where the party cadres have been trained to attack Mamata Banerjee, suddenly go along with her and campaign with her. I mean,
I think that's the biggest challenge. There is no convener. I think the Congress party has unofficially become the convener of the India
Yeah.
Alliance. In a way, there's no convener. Nitish Kumar wanted to become one. We don't know where that
I heard a
talk
JDU
is.
leader today make fun and say, Kharge kaun hai? I've never even heard his name.
Some of them wanted Mr. Kharge as Prime Minister
Yeah,
candidate.
I know, Mamata Banerjee, and it's really crazy as it can get.
So obviously it's a collection of very kind of a maverick leaders, who
Yeah.
have a mind of their own. It's very difficult to put the glue together. I remember Pallavi, the Bihar election, when JDU and Nitish and Lalu had joined hands for the first time, and I remember Prashant Kishore managed that campaign. And I remember somebody in the Prashant Kishore team telling me that Prashant Kishore's main work was to manage the egos of Nitish Kumar and Lalu Prasad. कि इनकी लड़ाई ना हो जाए. The campaign, they didn't need Prashant Kishore to win the Bihar
He
election
had
for
the
them.
same problem in UP also. I
Yeah.
mean, the Gandhis versus the Akhilesh Yadav.
So that is I think becomes the problem.
And in the
Who
middle
will
of
manage
all
these
this, they're
diversity?
going on with Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra. 14 ke baad, you'll not see the Congresses. They're all going to be busy.
But that's
They've
a mega thing. They are passing through. So I think the
Yeah,
Rahul
but
Gandhi's
see,
yatra.
Akhilesh Yadav made a very valid point that, first of all, let's finish off the seat sharing and then talk about the yatra. And the second thing is that why not have used this yatra as an India front yatra?
Yeah.
Maybe at some point of time they should do a joint yatra or rally, but I don't know. I mean, the yatra is also going to many states where they had loggerheads.
They are loggerhead. Yeah, it starts from Manipur, which is another contentious. It's going to be a major starting point. How
Yeah.
the yatra is managed in Manipur. So overall, I think the India front talks. We'll have to wait maybe one more week to
Yeah.
get some clarity. Right
Every
now,
day
nobody really knows.
a new statement
new
comes.
theory comes that कि इसको ये seat दे रहा है, वो seat दे रहा है. On the other hand, I think the BJP is prepping up to declare its candidates, first
By the end of
candidates
the
this month, by middle of this month maybe.
Oh my God. Maybe after 14th,
Maybe
after
after-
Ram Pran Pratishtha.
Pran Pratishtha maybe after 22nd or anytime during Makar Sankranti once the auspicious period starts. We could see the
Imagine.
first list coming out. So
It
obviously
looks
the
like a
BJP.
party which is battle ready to the voters, right?
Absolutely. BJP is far more geared up, I think, for 2024. The opposition is trying to get its act together. Will it get its act together or not? We'll see in the coming days. But thank you so much for joining us on Power Circuit. The next Power Circuit may be from Ayodhya. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.